This video is sponsored by Botan Store, Channel Fireball, PokemonCard.io, and Card Market. Hello everyone and welcome back to another video here at Teoman. Yesterday there was a big CelioStats tournament with an $1,000 prize pool, and Stephane Ivanov ended up winning the whole thing with the single strike deck. So a couple of weeks ago I posted a video asking if Umbreon V Max would be enough to put this deck at the top tier, and it seems like the answer is definitely yes. I didn't do too well with the deck in the video, I believe, but Stephane did bring this deck to the tournament with a slight different focus. Like, the main focus is not single strike Urshifu VMAX. Of course it's an option, of course it's a very powerful attacker with Gmax one flow doing one blow, doing 270 damage, not caring about anything, potentially one KOing other VMAXs. However, the main focus are the basic Pokemon actually. Single strike Urshifu V has the attack impact blow, doing 180. You can't use the attack next turn, you'll probably get knocked out, so it doesn't really matter. But by utilizing impact blow with the bonus damage from single strike energies, you can actually KO most stuff. You're hitting for really good weaknesses against Umbreon, against Eternatus, against Jolteon, which seems to be on the rise. And then obviously you have Umbreon, right? Umbreon VMAX with its Dark Signal ability, granting you the possibility to cost whatever you need. Also with the Max Darkness attack, 2-hit killing any VMAXs, but also one-shotting anything that's weak to Dark. And with the Rise of Dragapult, and with the obvious popularity of Shadow Rider, having these two types as your offensive types is really good. You're missing the Psychic type coverage for Rapid Strike Urshifu, which Rapid Strike Urshifu hasn't been as dominant as a lot of us expected it to be, at least initially, which does lead to not needing the Psychic type as much, but also, right, Sylveon being really good helps with that regard, in keeping Rapid Strike in check. But also, like, if you're up against a Psychic weak Poke or any VMAX that you don't hit for weakness, then Gmax one blow just completely deals with that. And then, as I was mentioning, Umbreon V, similar to the basic of Single Strike Urshifu, Moonlight Blade does 80 damage plus 80 more if this Pokemon has any damage counters on it. Obviously, with Houndoom, we are going to be placing damage counters on it, most likely. And with the bonus damage, you can also achieve KOs on these. You can definitely achieve KOs with your 2-prizer on a 3-prizer that's weak to Dark. And Mean Look is really good right now because a lot of people are not playing switching cards in their decks. So trapping something for a turn, buying yourself a turn, and then following up with a big attack can actually be pretty detrimental to an opponent. So that's the gist of the deck. The rest of the deck is still main single strike cards, the 4 Urns, the 4 Tower of Darkness, the 4 Energies. Tool Jammer and in general Tool Removal seems really good right now because a lot of people are playing Suicune and Station decks with Cape of Toughness, and that's a way you can get rid of that. Otherwise, if you are 2-hit KOing if you're 2-hit KOing a 2-prizer and their 2-prizer is 2-hit KOing your 3-prizer, then you're gonna be on the bad end of that, right? On the bad end of that trade. So you definitely need to compensate for that. And playing either Tool Jammer or Tool Scrapper help. Obviously, Tool Jammer has a longer effect, if you will, but it can be removed as well, whereas Tool Scrapper definitely gets rid of the thing, so they're both good. Tool Jammer interferes with your ability to attach Herbalins as well, so there's things to think about for both, right? Okay, this is a pretty solid hand, starting with 4 basic Pokemon in this sort of setup deck is actually pretty nice. We are going to go up against Suicune here. So we're just gonna bench everything and we'll go ahead and pass, and then next turn we'll go ahead and Marnie. So I need triple single strike energy on my Umbreon V in order to knock out the Suicune in one hit. If I'm going to do that, then I'm going to need to evolve into Houndoom, Marnie, and then find another Houndoom and a single strike energy, which we don't know if we priced any. There could be 2 priced, and therefore that would make it impossible for me to take a KO. If I found instead a single strike Urshifu plus a switching card, then I would only need 1. Not 1, 2. I would still need both Houndooms, but I wouldn't need the 3 single strike energies, I would only need 2, right? So my opponent confident that his Pokemon can survive. I could also just trap the Crobat. That actually doesn't seem bad. Like I mentioned, a lot of decks are cutting switches. I kind of like that actually. Using Umbreon to trap the Crobat, and therefore like I delay a turn for both, right? Whilst I power up. But that's okay. Right? That is absolutely okay. Watch me get all the pieces. Oh my god, I did get all the pieces. Wow, it's okay. I mean, getting an off turn here is fine, right? It's actually fine. As long as I get the first 2 prizes, this is actually fine. Or I could just go all out and take the knockout, you know? That's also another option, which I sort of like, actually. Because then I have the follow-up with this Urshifu, I guess. I would need to find an urn, since I will be getting knocked out. So do I take it slow? Nah. Let's be aggressive. I can't believe I actually got all the cards. I mean, obviously that makes me regret evolving into Umbreon VMAX, but the chance of me pulling this off were so low. So freakishly low. Alright, so we'll go Moonlight Blade KO. I was not expecting to pull... I mean, I expected perhaps to do 200 damage. I definitely was not expecting to do this much damage though. To do the potential 220, so I mean, I'm happy, right? I get a capture energy. Probably not going to be using the VMAX right here. And I definitely can't use it to take a knockout, but the fact that my opponent has an air balloon attached is really big. Really, really big. So I need to find an urn. That's the key card. Without an urn, I am not taking a knockout because I have that capture energy. So I guess I could also find a Marnie. If I find a Marnie, that also lets me pull this off. Because we're just trading KOs here. That's all we're doing. We're just simply trading KOs. Alright, my opponent could try to focus on this other Suicune and attach a Cape of Toughness to that, right? By going Melanie onto it. Plus the attachment hasn't played a support trick yet. Neither did they play it last turn, which is fortunate for me, obviously. Alright, there's a Melanie. Attaching to the bench. No, to the active. Okay, so they're committing to the active. That's fine. That is actually fine. There's a Cape of Toughness. So, establishing a 3rd Houndour could be important right here. Alright. Let's go ahead and do this. That is not the card that we want. So, off of the capture energy, I'm going to establish another Houndour. No, actually, no, never mind. If I establish another Houndour, I can't take the... Okay, so it's going to come down to the Tool Jammer, in fact. It's going to come down to me finding the Tool Jammer. Or 2-hit KOing, right? As long as... Well, there's going to be Crobat, though. There's going to be Crobat. So maybe I'll just establish the Umbreon instead. No, has to be the other. Has to be this guy, right? And what I need are my urns. That's what I need. That is what I really, really need right here. I get rid of the capture instead of this, and I'll fail it, and then I will definitely use Single Strike Roar. It's too bad I actually drew that. All right. So Crobat for 4. We do get the urn. That's really, really good. There we go. So I can take this return KO. And so the game has to be over by next turn, right? I have to take a KO, so I need to thin. Doesn't matter what I grab here. I need to find Urn again, and I need to find my Tool Jammer, which I do find the Tool Jammer, and I do find the Urn. However, I also redrew the Single Strike Energy once again. So what I can do is play the tower, discard the energy, play the Urn, put those back. So, okay, the issue right here that I have now is if I play down the Tool Jammer, I need to play it down, right? They could Tool Scrapper it away. But like, if I play down the Tool Jammer, it could get Tool Scrapper. If I don't play it, my hand probably just gets Marnied, right? And finding it again is gonna be so difficult. I feel like I have to play it down. Alright. Yeah, tool removal right now feels very, very key right now. Very, very key. Alright. So, I mean, I was either going to get punished by a Tool Scrapper or I was going to get punished by a Marnie. Either way, I have it. It's not ideal, right, overall. My opponent could not be playing Tool Scrapper, but the correct play would be this Drizzle, finding the Tool Scrapper. Path to a peak, that's fine. We don't care about that. We actually don't care about that. Okay, we get Marnied. Didn't search for the Tool Scrapper, so now all we need is energy. But not a Single Strike Energy. Okay. I just need to not draw Single Strike Energies, and I need to find one energy. That's all I need. Easier said than done, though. Watch me top deck a Single Strike Energy. Alright, gets another Drizzle. My opponent grabs a Tool Scrapper here. I think that's a mistake that they went for the path first. Wow. Never punished, man. Never freaking punished. That is actually unbelievable. Never punished. They made the wrong play by grabbing the path and then they don't get punished for it. And they also benched an Ice Rider, which, if I top deck energy, lets me win. Wow, so like my opponent is making all the mistakes, not searching for a Tool Scrapper, right? Oh, there's a cape off toughness, never mind. Wow, dude. Okay, so it comes down to my opponent not having boss then. I guess it's gonna come down to that. Okay, so I'm gonna establish another Umbreon right here. I'm gonna have 3 energies left after this. Yeah, it's gonna come down to my opponent having boss, right? What's the maximum damage Suicune does? 220, right? Yeah, I'm fine. I am fine. Even with double Inteleon, that's 260. With the 40 I'll have on me, that's 300. So I'll be fine. Okay, I need energy off this Barney, otherwise the game's over. Okay, I find an Urn, which is good. So, and the Stadium, that's pretty key. So with the Urn, I can put more energy back into the deck to hopefully find one of these 2 cards. I do. Okay. So now we just attack. I mean, I guess I can evolve. Nah, it doesn't really matter. I'll just attack. So if I get Marnie, these cards go to the bottom. So if they have boss, they win. If not, I research to find Umbreon. Level ball, no longer an option. See, like, imagine if my opponent had just searched for Tool Scrapper with the first Drizzle and had a Sobble, they would have the game. They would have the game won. So not recognizing how important Tool Scrapper was there was definitely a mistake on my opponent's part. We might still be able to pull this off. Obviously they're going to retreat the Suicune, right? Broken Heart. Broken Heart for me too. They could also not have Melanie. Okay, we get Marnied. Okay, so now we need either Boss or Umbreon. And I have the Umbreon right there. So I need my opponent to not play Path to a Peak now. If they play Path to a Peak, I just research because I know at the bottom of the deck there's 4 cards that do not help me. Okay, so they can KO anything. Obviously I promote the Houndoom then. So now I need a switching card along with the Umbreon. And we get pierced. Okay. So can we pull this off? Oh, I actually don't need a switching card anymore because I top deck the energy. So I get Umbreon, I have 1 single strike energy, and that's enough. So I'll self power up. I will attach. I will use Umbreon to bring up the Suicune. Alright. And we pulled this off. GG. Manchucks. So, as I mentioned, feedback from this is my opponent focused too much on Path to a Peak versus recognizing the cards that he needed, right? When you're playing Path to a Peak like that, like my opponent played it, you're playing to stop your opponent from winning, right? Oh, I don't want them to draw more cards of a potential second Crobat off of their stadium, right? But the Tool Jammer was more important. Like if you miss the Tool Jammer, I mean, if you miss the Tool Scrapper right there and leave the Tool Jammer, your Pokemon can't just die immediately, right? Whereas if you get rid of the Tool Jammer right there, you're forcing me to find another card, right? So you don't know how effective the Path to a Peak will be. The Tool Jammer will definitely be effective. And then if you keep that Sobble as a Sobble instead of having to use the Drizzle to search for a Tool Scrapper, then that level ball would have become boss and my opponent would have been able to win the game. So a bad series of decisions, right, that ends up leading to my opponent whiffing right there. You know? All right, so we're gonna start off with a mulligan, revealing our deck. I mean, even though my sleeves, I mean my deck box, I guess, reveals the deck anyways. All right. So there's Umbreon with the capture energy start. Our going first, it would be way better. Okay, so it seems like we're up against Rayquaza VMAX, obviously. Air Balloon on the active and pass. Okay, so with this hand, I believe. I mean, I'm obviously benching this. Attacking the Mareep seems okay, but my opponent didn't bench a Ray, so I mean, I have knockout on whatever I want potentially next turn. So I'm just gonna go ahead and capture energy for another Houndour, and then I definitely need to Crobat, right? But if I wait for the Crobat next turn, I get 6 cards. And I kind of like that. Because right now I would have to discard the Air Balloon and I would only get 3. So I'll get the same 3. I could have found a supporter, but I'd rather get 6 fresh new cards next turn, or at least 5. If I top deck something I can't play. Alright, so we see the Fluffy, we see the Peony. Discard your hand and search your deck for up to what? 2 cards? 2 trainer cards. Reveal them and put them into your hand. So that, I guess you find Stadium. No, like, okay, but then you research next turn. So, I mean, I guess I understand it to an extent. 110. That's rough. I mean, I can still pull off the KO on the Rayquaza, right? If I find double Houndoom, I can actually KO Rayquaza next turn. That would be pretty ideal. And that is a magical top deck. That is an absolutely magical top deck right there. Okay. So definitely gonna bring up the Ray, definitely gonna go ahead and attach, definitely gonna go ahead and evolve. And utilize this, and then my opponent tells me I have a good deck. I would agree, thank you very much. Let's go ahead and establish you. And so I need a Houndoom. And to not draw both of these. Alright, did not get the Houndoom. So I'll draw. I don't want to clog up my bench. Okay, so I don't get the KO. I, in fact, do not get the KO right here. 10 damage off. If I bench and then Quick Ball, fail it, and draw 2 more cards to find the Houndoom. I mean, my opponent has research, but I don't feel threatened by it. Alright. I think I want to get rid of the Tower of Darkness here. And just establish another Houndour. And then I have the Crobat still alive for next turn. 10 damage off. But that's okay. Feels like you're 10 damage off a lot of the times with this deck. Well, not a lot of the times. This is the second game I'm playing with this deck, but it's the second time I think I'm 10 damage off. Okay, 2 Balloons down is also good. My top decking research after searching for it is a very sad situation for him. So now, right, now my opponent does whatever amount of damage to my Umbreon. Could KO it, however, if they find a switch plus another Fluffy, could KO me. They've already played a supporter, needs to be switch Fluffy. Alright. So the best thing for me to do right here would be to knock out with this single strike Urshifu VMAX? No. 120. Okay, so 180 actually doesn't KO me, which is what Spiral Burst can do. So by having this guy ready... Oh, well, I mean, will they get Rayquaza VMAX, Fire, and Boss? That doesn't actually sound too difficult. That actually doesn't sound very difficult, does it? Huh. Especially if I Marnie them. I feel like I should Marnie them. I'm gonna go ahead and touch this energy. Right, yeah. I need to set myself up for the win. Okay, the Tool Jammer is actually pretty big. So what I might actually do is play the Tool Jammer on this guy, because that could lead to an opponent's mistake with their sequencing. Or, I don't know. I'm actually not sure. Okay, I'll get rid of you. It's crazy how, like, quick these games are now. I should have used my abilities before I used the Tower of Darkness, otherwise drawing one of those would have been very annoying. Who gets the Tool Jammer? That's the question. No one gets the Air Balloon, because I don't expect to be Marnie. Well, yeah, I don't expect to be Marnie, but in case they go Boss to stop. Who gets the Tool Jammer though? Is it the active? Or is it the bench guy to potentially lead to a mistake? They need the same 4 cards, right? Rayquaza VMAX, Boss, and Fire. If they pull that off, I'm actually in trouble. So you know what? I think it's on the Umbreon, because that's what I might need to attack with next turn. And that would complicate their other turn, I guess. I don't know. I'm really at a loss here. I think it's here. assuming the worst, which would be my opponent does KO the single strike VMAX, then I attack with this Umbreon V on the other Rayquaza VMAX, right? And that would hopefully mess them up a little bit. I don't know. Maybe it should have been on the active. I really don't know what I should have done there. But they don't need a ton of cards to knock me out here, so that's actually a problem. Okay, they play that, then okay, now the game's over. Now the game is over. They already played their supporter, Peony. If this was a trainer card, it would be the best trainer card in the history of the game. I am doing 310, so I need to use Earn. Use one ability and then the game is over because I can one-shot Rayquaza VMAX. Yeah, the game's over. So yeah, this is a pretty good deck, right? Especially when you get really good starts like I did here. I think when I built the deck, originally, like the list was pretty close to this. I just didn't draw super hot in the beginning. I don't know. Props to Stephane for sticking with the deck and pulling this off, right? Getting the win, pretty nice. All right. And bye-bye Rayquaza VMAX. Very nice, very, very nice. Straightforward, big hit, big hit, big hit, big hit, and that's it, right? Houndoom versus Fluffy, Rayquaza versus Single Strike. Houndoom seems like if you're gonna dedicate 4 energies to get a one-shot, feels very difficult to justify playing Rayquaza over Single Strike. Urshifu VMAX overall. But hey, thanks so much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this this video. Let me know if you have any questions or concerns. Thanks so much for supporting my content. There's gonna be new stuff available from Channel Fireball very soon, where you'll be able to buy things from a marketplace and utilize my code at checkout, which will further support my content. If you buy any cards whatsoever, that would be really, really useful. Really appreciate it, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.